How do I help my child stop an attitude or outgrow an attitude that I have a problem with? The very first thing is understand before you act. Don't just go all out on the child. Seek to understand why the child behaves that way. And you can do this by asking pertinent questions. Asking questions like, why does this child behave like this? What are some of the things that trigger this attitude? What are some of the times? What happens around the time when he behaves in this particular way? Seek to understand if the child is just seeking for attention, or if the child is just a phase in the child's life that will pass. Seek to understand pertinent questions around this attitude, because the more you understand it, you might just find a solution to this problem. For example, we all know that toddlers throw tantrums, but when a child is far grown and is still throwing tantrums, you might want to know that, okay, this is not just a phase that will pass. This is actually an attitude problem that needs to be fixed. And what are some of the things that pushes him or her to behave like this, and at what time? When you get to know the circumstances surrounding the attitude, it can help you to better solve it. The second thing is replace and not just remove. Kids learn more when you give them something to fall back to. You don't just take out something, you give them a positive option to fall onto. For example, if you have a child that has an attitude of, or a habit or an attitude of always whining, you, instead of just saying that stop whining all the time, you can rather say stop whining and rather tell me what your problem is, or tell me what you need. So when you would say like that, the child understands that, okay, so instead for me to whine all the time, or instead for me to whine when I want to communicate something, I can just clearly state what I need. So kids always learn better when you give them a positive option to fall back to. And the last thing is be patient and consistent. You and I were adults. We know that attitudes don't change overnight. And that is the same for kids. Attitudes don't change overnight. You have to be consistent. You have to be intentional. You have to be patient at it. So the more you correct, the more you work on this attitude with the child, be patient. Give it time. Be patient to see the progress you desire. And when you see little steps or little wins, celebrate the little wins, because it encourages the child. It makes the child understand that actually they are making some progress. Actually, they are not at the same spot. So each time you do it, make sure you encourage the child when they make progress. And my dear, be consistent. While you're being patient, make sure you keep correcting. Don't say that, oh, I don't want to repeat myself. You know, a lot of parents say that. I don't want to, this is what I need you to do. I don't want to repeat myself. My dear, with kids, you will repeat yourself and repeat yourself and repeat yourself. That is what consistent is in parenting. You must keep repeating yourself until you get the results you expect. So this is the thing. While doing all of this, make sure you do it in love. Because if you do all the correcting and the changing in a way that makes the child feel embarrassed or ashamed, you might not achieve the goal you expect. When you make the child feel confident, it gives them the zeal to want to do better. When we correct our kids gently, it helps us to build confident kids.